went full passing day. Did a little goal line scrimmage a while ago. Guys are pretty excited, working pretty hard. I think our practice has been pretty good now. It's just a matter of we'll work tomorrow. We'll practice tomorrow in the morning and send them home. Meet them the day after Christmas. Then over there, then we go to work. Who's got some questions?
And they were kind of sloppy late last week in practice. They take it up a little bit.
Probably picked it up, but that's usually the way it goes. Play sloppy, then coaches jump all over them. Next day they have a little bit more, have their attention a little bit better.
Yeah, you haven't had Lewis Gibbons on offense for a month, and you know, he's been able to get all the practice in and use his hand again and work with the offense. I mean, he played special teams, but
yeah, he's had good practice too. I've watched. He's caught my attention several times. I think we're better off when he's there, when he's healthy. He looks healthy now.
it looked like he really started to really make some big contributions for breaking that thumb.
Well, he really was. He's really playing a good role, you know it, and again, he looks very good out here in practice now too. Been pretty good.
For when you started ball practice, as a team made the leap that you wanted to make throughout the past week?
Well, we've done everything we could, you know, and we hadn't missed a practice. We've practiced in all kind of weather, so we're about as far along as we could hope to be at this time.
Chris Thompson kind of was having a pretty good season. I guess he missed some time with the death of his grandfather. How's he looked in practice?
He's looked like he did before he missed. Yeah, he missed about 10 days there. It really kind of took him out of there, but he's practiced well since we've been back.
With McNeil out at defensive end, who's going to be running with the ones?
Well, Brandon is working there right now. He'll play a couple of guys there. I'm not sure. Toshman. Is Toshman at the other end?
Well, they've both been the other.
Yeah, I think they all can. I think he's got about 3 of them that can play that position.
So I guess you're finally sure on that with McNeil being out?
McNeil?
Yeah.
Gone. He's gone home.
You've always, with the way that you've structured bowl practices, you haven't had to worry about playing your bowl game during the week leading up to it. You know, so I know bringing the team along slowly. Has this team looked very much the same way? I mean, do you feel like that or is that something you really don't know whether they've...
You don't know, but you hadn't seen any bad signs. They've practiced hard, you know. And like I say, we haven't missed a day, thank goodness. Although we've practiced in some terrible weather. They've practiced hard. I think they're on schedule.
Coach, I'm helping Tom D'Angelo with the story he's doing about your time at West Virginia. I mean, what do you feel those 10 years at WVU? How much do you feel it meant to you in your coaching?
Well, it meant a lot because one reason I went there is West Virginia is only 8 miles from Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And back when I was there, they had all those mills, steel mills there. You had a lot of tough kids up in there, you know. So I knew it'd be good recruiting there. We were only about 70 miles from Ohio. So that's where a lot of players are, you know. And so I think my last year there, we started 11 Pennsylvanians and 6 Ohio kids. The other kids were from New Jersey, Virginia, and only maybe a couple from West Virginia. West Virginia just doesn't have the population. You have to go out of state. Their population is probably 1.5 million at the most. And so you had to go out of state. And the fact that you were close to... Back in those days, Pennsylvania was Canada.
Yeah.
That's where Namath and Blanda and Montana, all those guys came from Western PA, you know, Kelly. And so it was a very good recruiting area. That's what reason I went up there.
How much do you think it meant to you in your growth as a coach?
Well, it meant a lot because you're living in another part of the world. Because you know I'd coached in Georgia, Alabama, and Florida, and so that threw me up in West Virginia, right on the Mason-Dixon line. So you were getting to work, and it was my first time to have integrated players. Down here, back in those days, it was segregated. when I go up there, I coach the Afro American for the first time in my life. You know what?
What was that? I mean, how much of a change was that for you? I mean, was that? I mean,
It
was it a startling
wasn't.
thing? Or?
It wasn't hard for me at all because I've never. It's never bothered me. You know. And of course, I think when I went up there, we had 3 Afro Americans on our team. We had Garrett Ford, who was a great back. We had John Malley, who was a defensive back, a real good one. We had a defensive end, I keep forgetting his name. I think his name was Porter. And those are the only 3 we had. When I left, we had many more.